Gather around, my friends, as I weave for you a tale of love, revenge, and the consequences that unfold in an African village. The title of today's story is She Is Mine. Once upon a time, in a vibrant African village nestled amidst rolling hills and lush greenery, a tale of love, betrayal, and revenge unfolded. The village bustled with activity as its hard-working inhabitants toiled in their fields, hunted for sustenance and tended to their herds. Life revolved around the rhythm of nature, and the villagers lived under the watchful eye of their chief and the guidance of the elders. Among the villagers there was a young man, Niba, who possessed a heart filled with affection for a beautiful maiden. Their love for each other blossomed like the colorful wildflowers that adorned the landscape. They dreamed of a future together, eagerly waiting for the day when they will be united in matrimony. Alas, fate is often an unpredictable force. The maiden's radiant beauty caught the attention of one of the village princes, a man accustomed to having his desires fulfilled. In accordance with the village's customs, the chief and princes had the authority to claim any maiden as their own. Ignoring the pleas of Niba, who poured out his heart and begged for understanding, the prince insisted on taking the maiden as his wife. Heartbroken and consumed by anger, Niba vowed to seek revenge. In the dead of night, he took refuge in the rafters of the prince's home, waiting for an opportunity to strike. When the moon hung high in the sky, its pale light casting eerie shadows upon the land, the young man descended upon the unsuspecting prince and attacked him with a spear and killed him. Aware of the consequences that awaited him, Niba fled into the refuge of the dense forest, becoming a fugitive from justice. The village, shaken by the prince's death, spared no effort in their search for the perpetrator. But Niba succeeded in evading the search parties sent to find him. For years, Niba lived as a solitary figure, hidden away in the depths of the forest. But as time wore on, the burden of loneliness became too heavy to bear. He yearned for human companionship, a connection to the world he had left behind. Driven by this longing, Niba hatched a desperate plan. He would hide by the winding farm roads and approach passing women to inquire about the latest news from the village. His altered appearance prevented recognition by those who knew him. In this way, he hoped to glean fragments of information about his former home, while maintaining his own anonymity. A long time passed until one fateful day, the burden of loneliness became too overwhelming for the young man to bear. He resolved to return to the village to confront the consequences of his actions. With a heavy heart but a resolute spirit, he journeyed back to the place that had once been his home. Upon his arrival, he surrendered himself to the village's ruling powers. A meeting was held and it was decided that the young man would face a slow and painful death for his crime, and a day was fixed for execution of his punishment. Niba was led to the village square on the appointment day. His punishment was to be carried out by the village masquerades, who embodied the spirits of judgment and retribution. Niba was buried up to his armpits in the earth. The earth firmly stamped down to prevent his escape. Day after day, the masquerades would encircle him in a dance. With each passing day, a part of his body was cut off as a painful reminder of the consequences that awaited those who dared to defy the village's laws. The villagers, their hearts heavy with sympathy, were forbidden from offering help to the condemned man. Eventually, Niba died. His body was unearthed and a grave was dug at the same spot. A large rock was placed atop the burial site as a marker and a warning to all in the village, serving as a reminder of the man who sought revenge against the prince that had taken away his beloved. Generations passed and the village continued to thrive, but the tale of the young man who sought revenge against the prince who stole his beloved endured. The elders, with their weathered faces and voices rich with wisdom, recounted the cautionary story to curious children gathered around a flickering fire. And so the story lives on, a timeless reminder etched into the tapestry of the village's history. It speaks of love, revenge, and the cost of choices made in the heat of passion. The tale of a man who dared to challenge the prince echoes through the generations. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and share your thoughts on this story.